This weekend, Riverworks is hosting the Buffalo Strong Hockey Tournament. The event raises money for a very good cause, and for more on the weekend's tournament and some Sabres talk as well, I am joined by the tournament founder, Dwayne Steinell. Dwayne, we're glad, first of all, that you stayed around here, considering it's like a nut house around here, so we appreciate it. But tell me a little bit about this tournament and why you wanted to start it.
It actually started as just like an initiative to try and instill the passion of hockey back into the community. I saw like a parking lot that had just been freshly paved in my neighborhood, and I was like, you know what? Back when I was a kid, it would have taken like an hour to get me and my friends to play hockey on that. And nowadays, you just don't see it anymore. You know, kids are, streaming on TikTok, whatever it is. I'm not taking shots, but that's the way it is. And it's not like I couldn't walk down the street without seeing a street hockey game or a pickup football game. So it started at that. It snowballed on social media, and then May 14th happened, and I've always been a big philanthropist on my own. I've volunteered with Big Brothers Big Sisters in the past, and other, as a hockey coach from my old high school, Depew High School, and Hashix Heroes. I've always been about giving back, giving more than taking, and I wanted to take that momentum that we had and turn it into something meaningful.
So tell me all the details about it, when it's happening, how people can get involved, all that good stuff.
It's actually happening this weekend. It starts off with a players, friends, family party tomorrow night at the Labatt Brewhouse Draft Room from 7 to 10. We're going to have lots of raffles, 50-50, lots of different things up for grabs, jerseys, baskets, things like that. And it goes into Saturday and Sunday at Buffalo Riverworks, where we still will have things up for grabs, raffles, autograph memorabilia, a lot of stuff, a lot of cool stuff. I can't thank Hurdle Avenue and Elmwood Avenue enough. Shop local people, seriously, because they were unbelievably generous in donating to this cause and showing support for it. So, I probably walked about 10 miles up and down Hurdle and Elmwood the past 2 weeks just collecting things because people wanted to be involved. And, if you want to be involved, you can shoot us an email at buffalostronghockey@yahoo.com. We're on Twitter at buffstronghockey. Contact me on Twitter, whatever you want to do. All hands on deck, and we're always accepting any more volunteers that want to be a part of this weekend because it's for a special cause, and, there are people's lives were absolutely devastated on that day, and I can't even begin to fathom what this Christmas season is going to be like for them, not having that loved one, because I know what it's like to lose, but to lose the way they did is unbearable, and I just want to do whatever I can to show that it's the city. You always kind of, when you see this stuff on TV as it happens, I'm glad it's not my city, and then it happened in our own backyard. And for me, it was just really a big wake-up call to this, how real that is, and how devastating that was to those people. And I want to do everything I can to give back to them and make this an annual game, for whether it's this cause or a different cause every year.
It's so kind of you to do that, and I want to ask you about one other thing, because you're somebody who has gotten the attention of people in Buffalo for kind of a different reason. We were talking about the Sabres a little bit in the last half hour, and you recently had a bit of a viral rant on the radio about the Sabres. So we want to ask you how you're feeling about things now, and what do you think about the team going forward?
I'm glad we're doing this after he scored 9 goals last night.
Right? You're like, oh, sure.
Perfect timing, right? This is probably the most optimistic I've felt about the Buffalo Sabres in quite some time. I'm a very passionate guy. I love the game of hockey. It's given a lot to me. Friendships. A team feeling. You create bonds through sports and hockey that last a lifetime. And there are people that are involved with this tournament and this initiative that I've known my entire life and feel the same way I do, that it's not even about the money, it's about the message you're trying to send. And I hope that the same passion that the Sabres are playing with right now, because I think this is the most passionate that I've seen this team in quite some time. And the thing that really drove that viral phone call, it wasn't even just about the performance on the ice. It was just the feeling that we as fans didn't matter. It didn't matter as much. We always show up, where Sabres, Bills, we show up win or lose, we're there. And I just want to feel like that we mattered. And that the same passion that we show you, that you're going to show us. And whether it's your play on the ice, things you do off the ice, and for the first time in these past year and a half, 2 years, I finally, it's starting to feel like 05, 06 again a little bit, right?
You got a lot of passion, and we're so
Yeah.
glad that you were able to come in and
Yeah.
share that with us and tell us more about the tournament going on this weekend. And Most Buffalo will be right back. Dwayne, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.